Hey guys, welcome back. This is Pure Evo here. Welcome back to the talk show. Of course, I have my fancy special guests like I always do. And who do I have with me today?
Lawful Evo.
Chaotic Evo.
As you both know them from their videos and our talk shows. So make sure you check out their videos, their top 10s, and their reviews for all the videos out there. You won't want to miss them. They're very knowledgeable.
Their top tens. You guys do a top 10 series?
Yeah.
My top tens.
His top
His
10s.
reviews.
Top 10
Corrections.
that ass.
Don't edit that out. Keep it in. Anyways, today's subject is Star Wars. Star Wars games. You know, theme going since the new game came out. So we're going to do certain game topics that both of them are going to do. So, Chaotic, which titles are you covering today?
I'm going to be covering the Jedi Knight series. So Jedi Knight, Jedi Knight 2, Outcast, Jedi Academy.
Okay, all right. Those are the ones he'll be covering. Then Lawful, which ones are you covering?
I'm going to be covering the Battlefront series as well as Republic Commando smashed in there, so we have an even 4 apiece.
Okay, that works. All right. And so basically, starting off here, since you guys are, it's like head to head and our normals and stuff like that. Who wants to start first about why did you pick the titles you want us to talk about today?
You've got the older series, so I guess I'll start with you.
All right.
We'll work through the evolution.
So obviously Star Wars is pretty big right now. If you guys haven't seen the movie,
Right.
go check it out. It's completely worth the watch. But it got me thinking and playing some old games recently, especially since GOG has the Star Wars series out on sale.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've been playing through the old Jedi Knight, and the lady, the crazy blue hair, picked up a copy of Battlefront, the new EA Battlefront, which is just it's garbage.
It caters to a different crowd.
No,
Yeah.
no, it is
For
garbage.
what it
It
is.
caters to nobody. It is awful.
The gameplay isn't awful.
Yeah, if you like Battlefront.
Well, exactly. So it caters to a different crowd, like I said.
Fair. Fair. You know.
Well, I would say Battlefront when you come to that. The only thing I would have to say about it is, like you say, it caters to the fans in general, not as a game or anything. That's what I think.
No,
I guess my problem is, why do we have to cater to fucking anybody anymore? And that's where my games come
Well, that's
in.
just it.
Sure.
The Battlefront, realistically, is not a Star Wars game. It's a Battlefield game with a sci-fi setting, much like the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, were better viewed if you think of them as just sci-fi action movies.
Right,
They're
absolutely.
decent sci-fi action movies. They're horrible Star Wars movies. That's the same principle behind the new Battlefront.
I can get behind that. But the Jedi Knight series was a nice blend, and especially for its time, of first person shooter and third person.
Right.
And told its own unique story and its own gameplay style, and it wasn't pandering to anybody other than just making games that were fun because they wanted to, because that's what LucasArts Entertainment was all about at that time.
That's always
So-
what it's about.
And they catered, bits and pieces were fan service catering to the expanded universe fans. Realistically.
Well,
Some of the
you
characters and stuff.
You gotta think about the people working at LucasArts. You have to be extended universe fans to begin with.
That's fair.
That's fair. Now, okay, even putting on interjecting there, since Disney does own, and as you all have your own opinions, of course, out there, internet is that I thought the movie was good, of course, too. And I even thought it was better than normal. Do you think Disney did what they need to do? Even though Lucas is sold what he has, do you think it'll get better from here, or be the same way it is right now?
So I'm gonna go ahead and cut into this one. So we're not really gonna talk about the movies because it's a gaming show, right?
Right, exactly.
And I have high hopes for the movies, but I'm gonna leave it there.
Right.
As far as the gaming
Yep.
side goes, we're doomed. We are totally, when it comes to Star Wars games for the near future, because Disney decided to sign an exclusivity contract with EA. So it's essentially going to be Star Wars 2015, 2016, 2017.
And that's what I was thinking.
Into the very near future. And I am just more than willing for you guys to fucking prove me wrong.
There you go. See?
Shots fired. Pew pew pew.
Yeah, just remember that. So that basically answers the question for that.
It's kind of like Instead of Han shot first, Charlie shot first.
Man,
Hey, someone's got to, or else you never get anywhere. It's every year. We're leaping Call of Duty every year. That's
Yeah.
all it's going to be.
what people keep saying is like, oh, EA's getting better. Dragon Age 3 was freaking amazing.
Yeah, still.
It was better than Dragon Age 2, but what was fucking Dragon Age 2, guys? It was garbage.
Yep.
They took something that you loved personally. Fucking, I'm not talking about fucking friggin' nostalgia glasses for the friggin' old days. I'm talking they gave us a good, fucking awesome modern game in Dragon Age. They gave you all the power in the world to design your own friggin' story around their game. And then they came in and told you you had to play fucking Faux Hawk.
So, Jedi Knight series.
That's right. Jedi Knight.
Touchy subject, guys.
Look,
But no,
I'm
it's
bitter
fine.
about EA. That's
No, it's fair because they hold the rights now for what games are going to happen. And that answers my question also.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
you answered him. I was just
You
trying
did.
to rein it in.
That's why we have you, because the passion's there.
That's his job.
So it's just how it is, But okay, moving on. Okay, so we're on.
Did I answer your question?
Yes,
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 you
you
did.
did.
Okay.
So I answered the question. Passed. But okay, so moving on to the progression of the older games, of course, before we were doomed. All right, and so what's your favorite part about the games? Like, what gives you the interest of why? Just not because of nostalgia, just why?
All right. So the problem. I'm going to start off with problems. The problems with the Academy series is it's very polygony.
Right.
But if you can look past the polygons, that's the gameplay is really where it comes into play. Because like I'm just going to mention like the first thing that I absolutely love before I got into the story, before I got into any of the character development, the lightsabers in this game series act like friggin' lightsabers. If it touches a wall, it's gonna leave a big old mark in the wall. You know what I'm
they're
saying?
going for actual.
I can chop off people's arms and legs. I can friggin' distract friggin' blaster fire, or if I stand there like a schmuck, I'm gonna get fucking shot.
Yeah.
But it's all based on like how I move my controls.
Yeah.
Or if I don't want to play as a friggin' Jedi, I can play as Boba Fett. Friggin' have friggin' missiles and then friggin' fly up in the air and go pew pew pew.
Yeah.
And I can still take on Jedi that way. And so it's the story was good. The multiplayer was fantastic.
In the later ones, yeah.
Yeah.
The
In Academy. Academy is like their...
Was it Academy or was it Outcast?
Outcast had good multiplayer, but Academy was just the coup de grace, man.
Okay.
It was Beethoven's friggin'
Ninth.
whatever one Beethoven had the best. Eighth?
Sorry, guys. We know
I'm
video
actually a
games,
music fan.
not classical music.
Bad analogy.
Hey, correct us in the comments. Which one was it?
Yeah, let us know about that. All right, moving on. So, Kayla, like that's your favorite. Okay, so Lawful, what is your favorite reason why you like the newer games, of course, and vice versa?
Putting past nostalgia, I'm kind of torn between Battlefront 2 and Republic Commando because both had a lot of great things going for them. Battlefront 2 is the one more people are going to remember.
Right.
First or third person shooter you could swap between, and every so often you'd get a hero unit so you could play as Luke, etc. But there was a mode on that, and the reason I love it, that everybody had a hero unit just purely.
Right.
In a multiplayer match. So you'd have Boba Fett, Luke, and Vader, and a bunch of other familiar characters all duking it out in a level at once.
Yeah.
That was an absolute blast. Now, the one it's tied with, Republic Commando, is just because it was really kind of ahead of its time. Tactical shooters weren't huge outside of, like, the original Rainbow Six. And it easily allowed you to not only control your character in the first-person shooter, but order your 3 AI teammates to breach or clear, etc. It was just, it stood out.
Revolutionary.
Yeah.
I actually have to agree with him on this one. Part of the reason why nobody played that one was because primarily it came out at almost the exact same time as Battlefront 2.
Yeah, its release date was actually the same day as Episode 3 on DVD.
Yeah.
They released it to coincide with that.
Inside.
And then on top of that, friggin' you couldn't play Jedi.
No, you were 4 nicknamed, not necessarily nameless, but kind of nameless clone troopers.
Right.
You were a clone trooper squad, and everybody was like, but I want to be Mace Windu or Yoda or Jango. I don't want to be stormtroopers, and so they just kind of passed on it.
Without even really giving it a shot.
Yeah. No, I can see that, yeah. So, basically, we know the reasons why you guys like games. Is there any reason between both your guys' sets of games to say, if there'd be competition, like if people had to choose between differences, what would be like your black sheep out of your guys' 4 that would compete with each other or be the shittiest or the best? You know, both. But let's do both, actually. Your black sheep, game that was kind of just shit, but people would play it.
Versus the Golden Goose.
Yeah,
Okay.
versus the Golden Goose.
My black sheep is obviously the new Battlefront, because like we said, it's great if you want a battlefield in a futuristic setting,
Okay.
which honestly you could go play Battlefield 2142 anyways and get a better version of that. But
No, it's true.
we won't talk about
It's
that.
a Star Wars skin.
Yeah,
It's the same thing they did
it's
with
modders. It's something modders could have done with Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
So that's
and
easily the
paste.
black sheep. Honestly, I want to say the Golden Goose is Republic Commando. As much fun as Battlefront 2 still is, Republic Commando had a solid, kind of short though, single player campaign, and then a pretty damn good multiplayer.
Okay, that's fair. And then Chaotic, which 2?
So the entire series, if you played them at launch, rocked. They were the best thing going for Star Wars at the time.
Right.
So going back into it now, Dark Forces, I would say, is actually the black sheep,
The first one.
the first one, just because of the dated graphics going in now.
Well, and they were still learning stuff.
And
at
they
that
were
time.
still learning. They didn't really know what to do with Kyle Katarn.
That was
yeah.
really the first-person shooter in the Star Wars
Yeah.
lineage.
Yeah.
It was something
And
completely
so
new
there,
for
there
them.
were some mistakes were made.
Yeah.
Not that they're bad mistakes, but they were learning. It's like comparing any first run game in a series. It's so I wouldn't say it's so much the black sheep is just the neglected child.
Okay.
It's but the Golden Goose flat out has to be Academy.
Academy.
Jedi Academy was it was so moddable. You can I can go in there still to this day. I can, and
Yeah.
I'm not a big modder. I can go in there and I can change out characters to Hitler and have Cartman's voice as Hitler's voice. I can
Easily create multiplayer levels.
I can easily create multiplayer levels. Starships weren't really a thing. That was something that they added in the Battlefront series. But modders have added ships that you can pilot around and fly, and you can me and my buddy we created we completely recreated the Mustafar scene from episode 3, and I played as Anakin, he played as Obi-Wan, and we made a better ending for that movie with just us playing around on a multiplayer map than the actual movie did.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
Enough said on that.
Ease of access for that, plus, I mean, really, the graphics, that's one of the few in the series that the graphics still hold up today.
Absolutely.
I mean, yeah, you can slap an HD texture pack into it, and it looks a little bit better, but you don't need to, whereas Dark Forces, to play today, you kind of need to.
And for real, the Academy graphics are very, they're amped up GoldenEye graphics.
Yeah.
Where it's still you see the face and it's a flat face on top of a polygon.
Right.
But you're not playing the Academy games to fucking stare at the fucking pores on people's skin. That's what you play Madden for.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, and as this goes into another passionate subject, you guys, you'll see this, of course, internet. Charlie will probably rage on this too.
That's an assumption.
Basically, my whole point here for this next question is, you said before, Chaotic, that basically, the newer games are doomed, and so did you, Lawful. They're kind of doomed. Do you think, even though for the contracts that were signed that, if there could be a remake of, say, the older ones,
Mm-hmm.
and probably EA would make them. Do you think they'd be just god awful horrible because Hollywood and to the fans, or you think there could be a chance that we could get remakes?
So EA won't make remakes.
Yeah.
That's not EA's style. That's not what EA does.
Okay.
So that's kind of out.
Yeah, that's not their MO. Like, for an example, there's a game called Firefight, which you guys have to download and play. You can't find it anywhere. All right, so you got to really dive deep into the internet. But Firefight used to belong to Electronic Arts before they became EA.
Okay.
And it was this really awesome game where you played a spaceship. It was very akin to Raptor, Call of Shadows, the old 2D shooter games where you played a plane.
Top View Bullet Hell,
Yeah.
1942.
Yeah, 1942 is another good one. But instead of just going straight up, they added an isometric look to it.
Mm-hmm.
And you were this little circular spacecraft that would roll around and just go through waves of energy. Super fun, and not the point.
Right.
So, what I'm getting at is that could be a game and should be a game that EA should remake, and it's still within their library, but
They're not going to.
EA likes licensing all of their characters very much in a very similar way to Disney.
Yeah.
And then whether or not they use them, they keep them, and then keep renewing licenses just so that nobody else can use them.
Gotcha.
All right, so what we're going to see in the near future is, instead of remakes, is you are going to see that we can't use Kyle Katarn anymore because that's owned by EA now. And Kyle Katarn's going to die in the fucking bottom of the fucking internet.
Gotcha.
All right, you're going to see friggin' you're going to see games that were promised, like friggin' the Boba Fett story.
Star Wars 1313.
All right, you're going to see that, but it's going to be I guarantee you it's going to fucking be a stripped down version of what it was. Fucking have a...
Well, and actually, I was doing some research on that this morning. Kathleen Kennedy, that's her name, right?
Yes.
Her comment on 1313 was, it is canceled, but it is a concept we would like to revisit in the future.
Which is Kennedy saying that she's making a play for it.
Yeah, she's attempting, but it's not going to be in the same hands, obviously.
It's going to be in EA.
Yes.
And again, so if we got it, and this is why we should shut up about it, honestly. We don't want it anymore.
No.
EA, we don't fucking want it.
Nope.
Don't fucking go make your own fucking stupid fucking Star Wars
Unless
games.
you want to let somebody else handle it.
Yeah, no, of course, that's not going to happen in the first place. But, of course, on that subject, we'll move on to bigger and better, because we all have our things, of course, on EA. We all do.
I have a little bit of a
couple
soapboxes on it.
Yeah, soapboxes for sure. I don't know, that's the word I would use, but probably a little higher than that. But basically, okay, moving on here, I'm going to put this over on another game platform, even past what you guys are talking about. Okay, how about the Old Republic Online? And I want, since we're all talking about the Star Wars stuff, I want to throw that out there. Negatives and positive, pros and cons of this game, how it would compare to both your genres together. Say you guys are both, against just this game. Your reasons, your likes. Go.
Old Republic, the MMO. I mean, honestly, pros and cons. I love the fact we finally have an MMO with crap tons of cutscenes and actual voice acting.
Okay, from the newer one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was absolutely fantastical. That's the one thing I enjoyed about that. Outside of that,
the gameplay,
it's just every other MMO.
Gotcha.
That's my con. There's nothing spectacular, no new innovation. It's just you've got World of Warcraft with lightsabers and bounty hunters.
Well,
now.
and it goes a little bit even deeper than that. Again, what people don't realize is that everyone knows that SWTOR came from KOTOR, Knights of the Old Republic, which was made by BioWare. It was an RPG.
Right.
But what people don't know about that is that Knights of the Old Republic was a Star Wars skin on Neverwinter Nights, which was an upgrade of Baldur's Gate.
Gotcha.
So, the SWTOR series is the fucking bastard child of fucking bastard children. We have literally shaken all the fucking gold coins out of fucking EA's pocket When we're fucking stealing shit that they fucking wrapped in a fucking Star Wars skin so that they could fucking get some money coming in, and you take that concept and fucking turn it into a generic MMO, you can't expect that to be a good game.
No, absolutely not. Not when
Right.
you've, like you said, bastardized and almost an incestuous legacy to the point
Yeah.
their family tree is a straight line.
Yeah.
Yeah. You hear dueling banjos because they just keep breeding the child with the father to produce a grandchild that then breeds with the grandfather to create a child. It's
And then you cut off the skin and put another Star Wars skin on it. And people fucking buy it because it's fucking Star Wars.
yeah. No, it's
Gotcha. Well, that's fair enough. I could see how
There's
that
better
would-
MMOs.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah, don't get me wrong. That's why I was asking how it would compare to those. Let's see, what else? See, now I'm stuck.
I know what I was gonna
What?
say. SWOTOR at this point has enough extra chromosomes it could make itself a sibling.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But
Sorry, I'm a terrible person.
No, you're good. So going into freaking how those RPG games stack up against, say, our
Right,
our games.
Oh, yeah.
Games, yeah.
So, and this goes in fucking flat. In fact, we can fucking just here. You take SWOTOR and I'll take fucking KOTOR.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we'll play at it. Right. So the original KOTOR series, added more to the expanded universe. Unlike Jedi Academy and the freaking Jedi Knight series,
That were
Right.
essentially based on the books and
they were based on the Dark Legacy
the
books.
novels
Yeah.
and the comic books.
Right.
They took story that other people had written and turned it into a video game, which was very awesome and very cool. However, KOTOR went in and they started just making shit up.
Making
And
a video game that became expanded universe lore and was later written about. So basically the opposite of how the Jedi Knight series was made.
Gotcha. Okay.
But it still made absolutely, like Revan. Like Revan is one of the all-time Sith now, or Jedi, depending on how you played,
Yeah.
or
Right.
a Gray Jedi. It's really, and see, that's what made it a good game.
And we don't want to hear shit about spoilers. That game is like 12 years old now. Go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
for real.
It's true.
And for real, like, how many videos do we have on the fucking tube now? Fucking every single one of them has fucking spoilers. I'm tired of fucking warning you.
Yeah.
This show does fucking spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking whiny assholes.
Right?
Every single one of them.
It's fair.
Except for you.
You're
know who
cool.
I'm talking about. You. You're cool.
Anyways, okay, so that compares to that. So then, okay, other side for you, Lawful.
I mean, like I said earlier, I don't have a ton of great things to say about it. In this case, like with his, you had a case of the Jedi Knight series, the fan fiction writing the game, and then KOTOR, the game writing the fan fiction. In this case, SWOTOR, it's almost a bastardization blender smoothie of the cartoons, some fan fiction, and World of Warcraft.
So it's not even World of Warcraft. It's actually they used oh god, what's it called? Evercrack.
Oh, EverQuest.
Yeah. They used that again as the model instead of WoW. And
Well, yeah, but I mean, WoW was just a streamlined version of EverQuest.
right, but why would you not go with the most modern version of it?
Because
to differ yourself?
No, because SWOTOR is streamlined in its combat, etc., like WoW was. So that seems more a direct comparison.
And you know what? I'm actually really glad you brought that up because I hate the combat system in both KOTOR and SWOTOR.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I've got to fucking tell you, man, if I have a fucking lightsaber and you have, and I'm like literally from like fucking meat a lawful with a fucking lightsaber, and
Right.
you're going pew pew pew. Oh, wait my turn. Fucking smack 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 with a lightsaber, and he ain't fucking dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. That
What's
makes
the point of
complete
lightsabers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's true. That's completely true. You know, it's just
No, it nerf batted them.
This is what they use in SWTOR. They're not actually lightsabers. They're fucking. That's the thing. KOTOR and SWTOR both are actually a play of the Star Wars universe, where they're using these instead of real lightsabers. That way I can smack you a few times.
Absolutely, they take the nerf bat approach to it.
Right.
We want combat to last and take up your time so you play for longer, so lightsabers suddenly don't one-hit kill or cut off limbs.
But that's why you have a lightsaber.
Yep.
That's why kids want lightsabers.
Well, and that's why we keep using the term bastardization.
Yeah.
Because it is.
Fair enough.
that's fair. Well, okay, going into that, basically as we wrap things up here, basically coming to the subject of Star Wars, basically what I feel, and you guys can quote on this if you want, that basically Star Wars has become so Hollywood when it comes to video games, it's not really video games anymore.
I'm sorry, what?
What?
It's not video games anymore. Star Wars basically is not video games anymore.
No.
No.
Well, and I mean, yes and no. Big AAA releases?
Yeah.
No. But there's an absolutely great recent Android phone game, probably on iPhone also, made by Kablam, who makes the Marvel Contest of Champions.
Right.
That is a great, solid experience, lets you create a character and go on your adventure. That is a great addition to the Star Wars video game franchise.
When that goes into indie development and the fact that AAA haven't really quite figured out the phone market yet.
Yeah.
Right.
They think of phones as something people do to waste time and a good way to get those microtransaction money.
Yeah.
So they will throw money at anybody that's like, hey, can I have the title just to make a game? And they'll be like, yeah, as long as you put microtransactions in there, we're solid. But they don't care what goes into the story. They don't care. There's very little oversight.
Well, but by the heads, there's very little oversight.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But a lot of times it ends up in the hands of somebody who gives a shit more than EA. So yeah, that's definitely, to answer your question, it's a yes and a no. AAA, no, I don't think we're going to see any decent Star Wars games. Star Wars is kind of dead in the video game region. But
When it comes to big consoles, for
yeah,
real.
indie, phone, possibly a handheld game at a later date, I think we can see some real promise. They tend to give more love these days to those bite-sized adventures because it has to be more compelling for you to come back.
Yeah.
With Battlefront, etc., they've got your $60 off the bat. They don't give a shit if you continue playing.
Yeah, no, it's true because
You'll be back when they crank out a DLC.
DLC or the next movie comes out.
Yeah.
Or, it's just how it is. So, basically, that answers the question for that. Basically, in my retrospect, I almost want to go with Chaotic side because I used to play them all the time. They were fun then. So, in all reality basis, even you guys can decide. Leave in the description whose is better. If you think Battlefront's better, tell us why. Because we want to hear it all. We don't care if you think we're gonna yell at you. We're not. We're just gonna give you the same reasons we're arguing about now.
I'm gonna
today.
yell at you.
Chaotic. He's going to. That's why he's on the show. We need someone that can yell, because if we're all sitting there just eating up EA's butt or eating up anyone's butt or BioWare, whoever.
Somebody give me a reason to love EA for real, because
it
nobody
can happen.
does.
It can happen. Seriously, Chaotic is one of those guys. If you can convince him about something, it can happen. Trust me. Or it'll
It's
never
gonna be
happen.
really compelling.
Yeah. You really got to put some heart, soul, and intelligent thought into that one.
I have a lot of bad information about EA, but please, I'm willing.
Yeah. So
give it.
just make sure you leave your comments about that and tell us what you think. And basically, that's going to wrap up today's episode. Is there anything else you guys have before we wrap this up?
I just want to say, overall, rehashing back to all the titles we've talked about today, none of them are necessarily terrible games. Should some of them not been Star Wars games and they would have been better? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And
all of them have stuff we've enjoyed.
Right.
I've played some rounds on the new Battlefront and enjoyed shooting stuff and some of the, I guess, not mechanics, but game types. Different modes you could play that were enjoyable.
Right.
I just don't feel that it screams, this is a Battlefront title or this is a Star Wars title. It should have just been sci-fi Battlefield.
Yeah.
Well, and you know what? It is a prime example of this actually working in a different way. Is back in the day, Age of Empires got licensed to make a Star Wars game.
Yep.
It was called Galactic
Battlegrounds.
Yep.
Where all they did was wrap a Star Wars skin around in Age of Empires 2.
Age of Empires 2 engine. Yep.
Yeah.
But I still played that game.
Oh yeah,
I did too.
Forever.
Well, and it had a well thought out campaign to back it up.
It did, and that's
Yes.
really look. At the end of the day, all of this stuff, and every time we do a video, we try and tell you guys that like, we bitch, but at the same time, we're offering you guys ways to fix it. All right, so the new Battlefront, it needs a fucking story arc. It needs a single player campaign.
It needed a solid actual campaign because, like we said with Galactic Battlegrounds, it was essentially Age of Empires with a skin. Battlefront is Battlefield with a skin.
Right.
What saved Battlegrounds and made it a better game? It had a solid single player campaign.
Yeah, which is fair. And guys, look at it this way. We may bitch, but the idea is we want to be the voice for you guys too. That's why we do videos like this. We're passionate about the fact that we love games just as much as you guys do.
Yeah.
We may go a little deeper. We may go that one last niche because we don't. You're like, why?
I may be completely wrong.
Yeah.
Well,
And
all we're doing here is sharing our passion to hopefully some of you get as passionate, or if you're already as passionate, we'll reach out and comment.
Yeah.
Interact with us.
Yeah, and just tell us.
We want you passionate nerds.
Yep.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, we're the voice for you to get out there because that's why we love doing this. Is this a job to us? No. This is fun. This is our passion. This is what we want to do.
It's true.
So just remember that. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and comment also.
Comment.
And just remember, there you go.
R2D2 said it best.
You did. So this is Pure Evo signing out. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Later, kiddies.